My topic for this multimedia project is abolishing capital punishment. What is the death penalty? The death penalty, or also known as capital punishment, is the process of killing a person as a punishment for a crime that the government gets to decide. Do we want the death penalty to lie at the hands of the government? Should they be responsible for who gets to live or not? The topic of abolishing the death penalty is a significant topic because there are many people who are not informed of the damages that the death penalty has caused. There have been times where mistakes were made involving the death penalty, like the Carlos de Luna case where he was executed and then later found innocent due to the lack of representation by the system, which makes this topic more relevant in today's society than ever to prevent the same mistakes from happening. By looking at life imprisonment as an alternative, government mistakes, and the impact of deteriorating or reducing crime, we can see that the death penalty is no good to anyone and should be abolished, which most people do not see. This is important because the value of life is worth fighting for. It is important to consider life imprisonment as an alternative, and we can look at that by seeing what these prisoners had to say about life imprisonment as opposed to the death penalty. Tommaso, a current prisoner, stated his life sentence closed all the doors to his desired future, leaving no more hope for anything. Carlo, another prisoner, stated, "You cannot go home. There is no hope, and only death can set you free." Based on these interviews, it was revealed that a life sentence was like a terminal illness, an endless torture that is believed to be a far worse punishment than death. At least in prison, prisoners have the opportunity to learn from their mistakes. Many of those sentenced to death could be rehabilitated to live socially productive lives. There have also been many mistakes made regarding wrongful death penalty convictions, but as we take a closer look, we can see that the government plays a huge role in it. Official misconduct, perjury, which is intentionally swearing a false oath, or false accusation, false misleading forensic evidence, or mistaken eyewitness. According to the Death Penalty Information Center, these are all the leading contributing causes of wrongful convictions and the death row exonerations. Now, let's look at the Carlos de Luna case. According to the article, The Unjust Execution of Carlos de Luna by Justin Chan, Carlos de Luna was a young man that was executed for the murder of a gas station employee, largely based on eyewitness misidentification. Prosecutors dismissed Mr. de Luna's claim of an alternate suspect. Wrongful convictions are still being revealed till this day. The lives of people should not have to lie at the hands of the government. For many, the death penalty seems to be the only way that other criminals will hopefully become afraid to commit crimes because of the death punishment. According to the article, the death penalty remains the strongest deterrent to violent crime. It was stated there must be some form to hold murderers accountable, and historically the death penalty has been the most effective way of doing so. While many believe the death penalty acts as a deterrent for other crimes, according to the article, Doge states the death penalty as a punishment to deter crime and violence has not been proven successful. In fact, if we were to look at the states that have already abolished the death penalty versus states that have not, it has been revealed, according to the article, The Death Penalty and Deterrence, that the murder rate in non-death penalty states have remained consistently lower than the rate in states with the death penalty. Here we have a chart from the Death Penalty Information Center that demonstrates the murder rates from 1990 to 2020. We can see how the murder rates are lower and the gap just keeps growing. This reveals that the death penalty does not make a difference in reducing crime. In conclusion, the death penalty violates the right to life. Based on the findings on life imprisonment as an alternative being a better punishment, the government deciding whether to take a life or not without taking the proper actions, and revealing that the death penalty does not reduce the rate of crimes. It is clear that the death penalty still being used is of no good to anyone. It is time for a change in the legal system, and abolishing the death penalty is a great start. This is my appendix with my script text for what I said in this project. This is my works cited page. I feel like my multimedia project effectively presents and argues that the death penalty should be abolished. I do, however, feel like I could use some improvements if maybe integrating more multimedia, like maybe a video of some sort where it shows how prisoners who are serving life sentences are living in prison. And although I did add opposing viewpoints, I think I could have also added more in-depth research about other opposing viewpoints, like families who have dealt with cases involving their loved ones and a prisoner being sentenced to death. I am now aware of where I will need to improve in future assignments like these. Thank you.